Sir Alex Ferguson is one of the most iconic managers in the history of football. He led Manchester United to 13 Premier League titles and 2 Champions League crowns during his time at the helm. Known for his winning mentality, Fergie helped develop some of the best players to ever play the game. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing for the Scot during his early years at the club. Fergie took the reins from Ron Atkinson in 1986. Although the 1990 FA Cup triumph added some much-needed silverware to the trophy cabinet, a first top-tier title since 1967 continued to elude them. However, that was all about to change. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the 1992–93 triumph, so we've taken a look at what the members of that iconic team are up to today. Peter Schmeichel was the first-choice goalkeeper of the United team that conceded the fewest goals in the league that season. He continued playing for the club until 1999 and then moved to Sporting Lisbon, before coming back to the Premier League to play for Aston Villa and Manchester City. In 2021, Schmeichel published his autobiography, My Autobiography. Currently, Schmeichel is one of United's global ambassadors. Ryan Giggs was a member of the class of '92. He scored 9 league goals in the 1992–93 season and showcased outstanding potential as he bagged the PFA Young Player of the Year award. Having been an Old Trafford mainstay for over 2 decades, Giggs also served as interim manager after David Moyes was sacked. Giggs is currently awaiting a retrial following allegations he assaulted his ex-girlfriend. Brian Robson was one of the veteran players in the United locker room during the 1992–93 season. He served as the club captain for several years, and the first Premier League campaign was his 12th year with the team. Although his days as a regular in the side were behind him, his role in the team was extremely vital. Robson is now one of United's global ambassadors. Eric Cantona is one of the most legendary players in the club's history. He was a fierce competitor, and his signing was key to the club dominating English football in the 1990s. Cantona scored 9 goals for United in the 1992–93 season. He continues to follow United and often gives his take on how the team is playing and where they need to strengthen, just like any normal fan. Mark Hughes was a homegrown player who broke into the first team after stellar performances in the academy. He left United for Barcelona in 1986, however, in 1988 he returned to the club. During the 1992–93 season, Hughes was a key player as he scored 15 goals in the league. After a successful playing career, the former Wales international took his talents into management and coached several teams across England. He is currently the manager of League Two side Bradford City. Steve Bruce was a rock in defence for United throughout the 1992–93 season, while he also scored some vital goals to help the Reds win the title. After a successful playing career, Bruce took up coaching. He has managed 11 different teams in England, including 2 spells with Wigan. He was recently sacked as manager of West Bromwich Albion. Paul Ince was a key presence in the United side in the 1992–93 season. He was known for his tough tackling and passing ability. After his stint in Manchester, Ince played in Italy before coming back to the Premier League. The former United midfielder is currently the manager of Reading. Brian McClure was into his sixth year as a United player in the 1992–93 season. He had been a goal-scoring threat for them in his first few years, but Ferguson transformed him into a midfielder. Despite the change, McClure was able to bag 9 goals in the 1992–93 campaign. After spending 11 years as a Red, the Scotland international decided to leave the club and joined Motherwell on a free transfer. McClure served as United's Youth Academy director from 2006 to 2015. McClure is currently running his own podcast, Life with Brian. Paul Parker had some great moments with the Reds. He secured 19 caps for England, but injuries shortened his career and he eventually fell out of favour for both club and country. After his playing career, Parker turned to coaching before becoming a pundit. Russell Beardsmore started off his playing career at United under Ferguson. As competition for a spot in the team increased, Beardsmore fell out of favour and this led to him not finding any game time during the 1992–93 season. Beardsmore is currently working for AFC Bournemouth Community Sports Trust. Clayton Blackmore was another who was not a regular in the first Premier League season, but he played a valuable role coming off the bench. He had a long playing career before a brief spell in management. He is currently a sports speaker and inspires many by speaking about his career and bringing them closer to the world of football. Ben Thornley never really found regular playing time at United. Thornley was touted as the next big thing at the club, but injuries derailed his career. He recently opened up about his career in his autobiography, Tackled. Lee Sharpe played for United from 1988 to 1996 and he was a pivotal player in the 1992–93 Premier League triumph. After a successful career in football, the former England international made notable appearances on reality shows. He also worked as a sports pundit for the Premier League. In 2020, he began his professional golfing career and continues to compete in European Pro Tours. Mike Phelan was an exciting midfielder who started off his career at Burnley. He made a move to United in 1989 and found himself fighting for minutes in a team stacked with talent. He made some key appearances in the 1992–93 Premier League campaign. After a successful playing career, Phelan started off his managerial journey. He was assistant coach to Ferguson and also joined Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching staff at United, but he left the club in 2022. Sir Alex Ferguson's son was not a regular, but he did make 15 league appearances in 1992–93. After spending his career in the lower divisions of English football, Ferguson started his managerial career with Peterborough United in 2007. He recently rejoined the club for a third spell. Danny Wallace struggled for playing time with Giggs and other talented forwards bursting onto the scene during the 1992–93 season. Wallace had to take early retirement from the game as he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Dion Dublin had a 2-year stint with United. After retiring from football, Dublin became a pundit with Sky Sports and even commentated on Champions League games. He recently appeared on Celebrity MasterChef and now presents BBC One show Homes Under the Hammer. Simon Davies didn't make a single appearance in the 1992–93 season. After his stint with the Reds, Davies spent his career in the lower leagues before retiring in 2007. He then started his career as a manager, even spending time with Manchester City's elite development squad. Giuliano Majorana was brought to United from Histon. He was tipped to go on to be a special player, but injuries derailed his career and he only managed to make 7 appearances for the club. Majorana has often spoken about his shaky relationship with Ferguson. He is currently running his family's upholstery business in Cambridge. Lee Martin didn't make a single league appearance for United in the 1992–93 Premier League season. A lack of game time meant that he made the move to Celtic in 1994. Martin kept playing for teams across England until 2008. The 54-year-old currently helps young people in Cheshire find jobs or apprenticeships. He also works as a pundit on MUTV. Gary Walsh was the substitute goalkeeper for United during the 1992–93 Premier League season. He only made 50 appearances for the Reds before moving on in 1995. After his 2006 retirement, Walsh took up a career as a goalkeeping coach. Walsh is currently the goalkeeping coach for Championship side West Bromwich Albion. Dennis Irwin was a key man for United in their 1992–93 season, making 40 league appearances and scoring 5 goals. Irwin is now a contributor to MUTV. He is also a columnist with Ireland's Sunday World newspaper. Gary Neville did not feature in any league games during United's first Premier League triumph. After retiring in 2011, Neville decided to begin his coaching career and his first stint came with the England national team in 2012. In 2015, Valencia appointed him as their manager, but he was sacked after just 4 months. Neville is now a pundit at Sky Sports. Gary Pallister was another key member in the defence of United's 1992–93 Premier League team. He formed a formidable partnership with Bruce, with United conceding just 31 league goals in 42 games. After a 17-year playing career, Pallister retired in 2001. He took up a career in the media and can be seen on both BBC and ITV. David Beckham didn't make a single league appearance in 1992–93, but he, of course, went on to be a huge player for the club. His free kicks and passing range helped him play for top European sides like Real Madrid and AC Milan after his United exit. After retiring from the game, Beckham went on to buy a team in MLS. Along with Inter Miami, Beckham is also a co-owner of Salford City. Nicky Butt did not have a great impact on the 1992–93 Premier League winning team, but as the years progressed he became key to the Reds' success. After a stellar career, Butt returned to Manchester to serve as the club's reserve team coach. In 2019, Butt became head of first-team development at Old Trafford. In 2021, he announced that he was leaving the club. Currently, Butt is the CEO of Salford City. Keith Gillespie is another who did not make a Premier League appearance for United in the 1992–93 season. He went on to have memorable spells with Newcastle United and Blackburn Rovers following his 1995 departure from Old Trafford. In 2020, Gillespie began playing for FC Mindwell, a team set up to raise awareness of mental health issues. Spent 4 years at Old Trafford, notching 28 goals in 123 league games. After retiring from the game, he joined FC Nosta as their sporting director. He then went on to manage Navbahor in Uzbekistan before leaving in 2020. Neil Webb left United a few months into the 1992–93 season after playing just one league game for the Reds. After his career in football, Webb worked as a postman and has also featured on radio station TalkSport.